Good morning, student. Myself, Kanhaiya Kumar, Assistant Professor in Today we are going to discuss about water treatment. Water treatment means the treatment we give the water for our and treated them to use for our daily needs and for our cattle and so on. The treatment generally for the purpose of for river water, lake water, and many more. The treatment is a process where we treat water to aim for use or use it again. Now we will discuss primary treatment. Primary treatment suspended solid and floating materials is removed in primary treatment from the water treatment in water treatment for infected water. Influent is passes through a stream which is used to remove certain materials like toothpaste, plastic, papers, floating debris, and solid particles mixed in liquid water. The influence is passed through chamber, which is known as Gright chamber. The water which is to be treated passes through the Gright chamber. Fatty and oily substances can be removed by floating method. In this treatment, in this floating method, we remove fatty and oily substances from water. In order to take fatty and oily substances, an instrument called centrifugal separator. It is an instrument which is used to separate fatty and oily substances from infected water. Is used in this process. Fatty substances are reached to outside and clean water remain in the center of the cyclone. Uh, the water is passed in settling tank in which water remains for a long time, which suspended particles are settled down in this process. This process is known as sedimentation. Sedimentation, sedimentation is a process where we settle down the impurities present in water by the settlement process. Sedimentation can be accelerated by adding chemical substances known as coagulant like alum. Alum is a substance which is generally used to settle down the impurities. Some smaller particles may be suspended by flotation method, or we can say floating method. In this method, the bubbles of air passes through the bottom of the tank and smaller particles come in the contact of bubble come out on the surface of water. We can say that we include bubbles in water to, remove impurities present in that water. The colloidal particles can be removed by fluorification and precipitation. These processes, the fluoropylation and flocculation and participation. These processes, the chloride particles can be removed by only these processes. The primary clarification is also done by big tank type structure is made to treat water, and the turbiner work easily. They break water in, they They jump water from one side to another. They break water from upward, downward. The turbine work properly and they give a massive, uh, massive stroke to your water body for their primary treatment. Furtherly, primary treatment can be classified in two types or two parts: physical treatment and chemical treatment. Physical chemical wastewater treatment techniques are techniques to remove the process fractions like oil, fatty acid, substance, solid could be removed by the use of following techniques: physical treatment, streaming, grit chambers, floating or spinning tank. Chemical treatment, sedimentation, graduation, flocculation, and filtration. These are the process of chemically treatment or chemical treatment. Physical chemical treatment is normally used to prepare the wastewater for the next treatment techniques. In many cows, biological treatment. Screen chamber remove dead animals, branches of trees, loaves of woods, rags, and other coarser floating materials which are present in water or floating in river. The effluent is passing through the bar, steaming for a rag removal. In this session, two automatic bar screw clean remove layer solids. From the raw sewage, the collected material is placed in dump, uh, dumpster to be taken later to the landfill. Now, sedimentation. Sedimentation is also a part of water treatment. So, in sedimentation, settling down of suspended particles at the bottom of water is called sedimentation. Means the solid or waste particle mixed in water by the process by which we shuttle down these impurities is called sedimentation, and also this process is known as clarification. Clarification in this process, water is collected into big pond slowly. Impurities are shuttled down by gravitation. The process of sedimentation can be accelerated by adding alum, or we can say the process is getting faster by adding alum, a substance which is used for cleaning or in treatment process. The main object of sedimentations are the suspended and colloidal impurities are separated in sedimentation tank by gravitation. So, the uh, suspended particles are collected and is settled down in a sedimentation tank by the gravitational process or gravitational force. It reduces heavy sediment load before treating water for other purpose. There is water when treated to other purpose. It is done by the sediment load. It is on it applied a sediment load to settle down these process down. The main principle of sedimentation is to allow water at rest or float at a very slow velocity so that heavier particles settle down due to gravity. They rotate water easily and with the help of turbine and at a constant speed slowly. By this process, all the particles, heavier particles, settle down with by the gravity, or we can say by the gravitational force. They are getting down. The process of settling of particles depend mainly on velocity of flow, size, shape, and specific gravity of particles and velocity of liquid, which are present in the impure form of impurities present in water. The velocity of water decreases by increasing the length of flow. This velocity of water increases by when we decrease the length of flow. Or the principle is used in the process of sedimentation. These continuous processes are followed in proper proper education. Proper implementation of sedimentation. The size and shape of the particles are increased by formation of partition for formation of participants because of addition of coordinates. For coevaluation in this plane sedimentation, the heavier particles settle down. However, fine particles take many hours or sometimes day to settle. In this process, uh, the heavier particles get easily settle down, but the particles which are smaller in size take a long time period to settle down, or many times it takes a day to be settled down. Fluoridial particles, which are fine particles of size finer than 0.001 mm, carry electric charge on them. These smaller particles, which are present in these type of impurities or in form of these impurities, carry two electrical charges in their physical body. The water loses color with which is mainly due to chloride matters and dissolved organic matter in water. The tu- turbidity in water is mainly due to the presence of very fine particles of clay, silt, and organic matter. All these kind of material are settled down by the sedimentation process, and sedimentation alone is not sufficient to removal or all the suspended matters. The process of coagulation is used to remove colloidal particles from water. The coagulation process is also very important to remove colloidal particles which are present in water. Coagulation is the process in which certain chemical agent is mixed with water, and then colloidal and suspended particles are aggregated and form uh, insoluble material like hydrogen, or known as hydrofluids. Filtration. Filtration is done in order to remove collected and suspended matter remaining after sedimentation and to remove bacterial leaves. The process of filtration usually contains of allowing the water passes through thick layer of sand or purpose material which retain pressure and process impurities on its surface and its pores. The apparatus used for filtration is called filter, and the porous material that fill the filter is known as filtering medium. The filter generally generally the filters are uh, used in our daily life like aquapina, aquaguard. These are the filters which filtrate water and remove bacteria from our present impure waters. Type of filter: single flow closed pressure filter, horizontal flow pressure filter, dual medium flow pressure filter, unflow unflow sand pressure filter, mechanical filter, radial filter, multiple chamber filters. These are the filters used to filtrate water for the use. For the use. Next one is secondary treatment or biological treatment. It is the process in which microorganisms play a very important role for the treatment of influent water. Microorganisms like bacteria, fungi decompose the organic waste and convert into simpler form. The main function of secondary treatment is to cover the remaining organic matter of sewage into stable by by oxidation and nitrification. Biological treatment can be classified into two parts. First is aerobic and second is anaerobic treatment. Aerobic treatment is furtherly divided into two parts, which are aerobic treatment furtherly divided into activated slug process and clicking filter. Aerobic treatment, the treatment which is carried out by microorganisms in the presence of oxygens. An organic treatment, this treatment which is carried out by aerobics in the absence of oxygen. The need of oxygen is supplied by oxidation of oxidizing agent compound of SO2. Thank you.